Just gotta wait, gonna celebrate. When it's my time, gonna elevate. Go, 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 go.
Hello, welcome back to Mahala Gaming, Mr. Mahala's world, if you will. I've made a video in a long time, family stuff, other stuff coming up, so I'm back into it, hopefully consistently from now on. But today we're talking about the state of the game industry. Why are so many games failing? Why companies are doing the exact wrong thing, and why Crimson Desert is destroying right now, and why other companies should look at Crimson Desert and follow suit. And I don't mean trends. All right, so let's get into Crimson Desert first, and then we'll kind of go down the line. This game is crazy, okay? I think the only mistake this game company made was making it seem like this game was an RPG, in a sense. That's not its core. There is an RPG element, but like the characters and the story isn't the main focus, per se. It's more so exploration. I would call it more of an MMO, MMO style, if you will, but not really. It's kind of a mix, a hodgepodge. We got some story elements, we got campaign missions, but most of the game is side missions, right? It's stuff you find in the world that activates another quest, that gives you a certain thing. And this game just kind of seems like the devs were just like, hey, everyone come up with an idea and we'll throw it in here. That's exactly what this game is. It's got everything. It's got dragons. Spoiler alert. It's got dragons. It's got robots. It's got tech. It's got magic. It's got weapons, swords, and shield. It's got armor plating. It's got everything. It's got some story. It's got base building. It's got, if you want to, your home. You can build your home the way you want. We're not talking Sims, but you know what I mean. So anyway, this game has everything, and it's doing that the right way. It's making exploration the key factor in this game. It's making you do the opposite of normal in order to succeed, if you will. Like half the bosses are not on the main story. Like I would say 80-90% of them are not main story. I followed a quest, a side quest, right? Just for one of the factions. It led to a boss. What are we doing? If I never did that side quest for that faction, I would have never fought that boss, gotten that loot, seen that place. You have to do all the side missions. The story missions are the last thing you can do, but they do unlock things, right? I'm getting ahead of myself here. The main point is Crimson Desert is great because it doesn't follow trends. It does what it wants to do. And the devs were given free reign without this situation of, hey, you need to do this because this is what the other games are doing that are succeeding. Trends are stupid in the game industry, in the movie industry, in the show industry, entertainment in general. Do not follow trends, guys. This is the biggest problem in our industry and why so many games are failing. Okay? If you're gonna follow a trend, you have to evolve the trend. You cannot just copy paste. Prime example, Bungie. Yeah, Marathon. They have Marathon, okay? I would say some people don't like the hyper highlighter, futuristic, cyberpunky situation. I happen to think it's a great look. What I don't like is that they took this world that they could have expanded on forever, literally forever, because it's tech. It's futuristic, right? You can literally come up with anything as long as it kind of grabs the storyline or grabs the theme. And instead of doing that and making what they're good at, which is MMORPGs like Destiny, they decided to make an extraction shooter. This is my point here. They had a great IP with a unique art style that they could tweak, right? It's not like it's stuck. But anyway, they decided to do a trend instead of do something that they're good at and that's original. This is the problem with our gaming industry. Everything is following a trend, and has to do with investors. A lot of it has to do also hiring people who don't have their own mind, right? But make the decisions of where a project goes. This is the bigger issue here. Developers, right? They're always going to do, I'm talking about the base developers, not like the leaders. I'm talking about the art developers, code designers, every one of those people. And I am one of those people, by the way. I've been in the game industry for 13 years, not lately because of all the layoffs, but I've been there for over 13 years. I've been dealing with devs and hanging out with devs. Those are some of my best friends. I've been on so many projects, you know. You have to give them the creativity aspect of building a game. And that is not the norm anymore. It is not. We could honestly go for days about how wrong it is nowadays. Also, the second thing that people get wrong is putting real world situations or issues or politics into entertainment, into movies and shows, into especially gaming. We do not play games to get reminded of the real world crap that we're dealing with. I'm sorry, it's just not how it works, right? I never ever said, oh, let me play a game so I can learn about the politics of what I'm already dealing with in the real world. You play a game or watch a movie or watch a show to escape that reality. That's the whole point. That's why it sells. The Avengers and Marvel, in their heyday, Marvel didn't sell billions and billions and billions of dollars of tickets because it had, issues like, trans rights or, left versus right or feminism. It doesn't matter what your take is, and I don't have a take. All right, this is not a channel for politics, but that is not present and it succeeded. As soon as you throw that in, right, what you create is friction amongst people who watch it, and then you get people who watch it who are not fans, right? The worst thing you can do, look at the Marvels, is, for example, they promoted feminism greatly, and all they did was deteriorate Captain Marvel. She is the Avenger. I mean, not the Avenger, obviously that is Captain America, but Captain Marvel is the strongest Avenger. Most people call her the strongest Avenger. She is ridiculously powerful, okay? So why downgrade her to uplift the other two Marvel girls, who, by the way, no one gives a hell about Miss Marvel, stretchy arm. She's just Fantastic Four. She's just a stretchy, and then all of a sudden it's a hodgepodge. It's crap. But anyway, they downgraded her abilities so that the other two girls had power in the movie. Very weird. But anyway, that movie tanked. Why? Why did it tank? Because no one gives a crap about woman power or whatever. We care. The people who watch these things and who play our video games care about the whimsical aspect of it all. We care about powers and cool bosses and unique storylines and great characters and unique worlds like Cyberpunk, right? Look at all the games that have succeeded. They have not followed trends, or if they followed a trend, they evolved it, right? I don't know. We can look up tons, right? We can look up tons, right? Extraction shooters alone, you can't just follow a trend, and that's Marathon's issue, right? We're going back to Marathon and video games, and we went off on a tangent a little bit there, but same thing with movies, right? The Marvel franchise in its heyday, the golden era of Marvel, as people like to call it, didn't succeed for no reason. It succeeded because there was no bullshit in there. They had a a blueprint, comics, and others, right? And other stories and shorts and everything. They had a blueprint. They followed the blueprint, added a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of this and that wasn't in the comics. Fine, as long as you stay on the path, right? And it did well, amazing, way over billions of dollars. Since then, we've inputted politics and real world issues, and look at it. You cannot listen to these people that you hire. Don't hire organizations that are supposed to give you trend tips and social media. Don't do that. Just create video games. Create them from your own mind. Don't copy anybody else. This is the big problem. Destiny succeeded because it was its own thing. Mass Effect succeeded because it was its own thing. Even Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty, for most people, for people don't realize this, but Call of Duty is the pinnacle of shooters. It started the genre, not started, but it made the genre popular. And still, to this day, no one beats Call of Duty. I don't care if you hate it. I don't care if you don't like the skins or the microtransactions or the battle pass. Guess what? How many games have battle passes now because Call of Duty did it first? Like all of them. That's trendsetter. As much as you hate Call of Duty, as much as people bitch about it every single year, almost every year, it's way in the green. Almost billions every year in copies, in revenue, and everything. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, they still have the best shooting mechanics. They're still the most polished. It's still the most fun when it comes to jumping in, having competition, jumping out. You can't beat it. You know why it's unbeatable? Because it has stayed true to its DNA. It hasn't changed. It hasn't followed too many trends. It stayed the same. And then you can talk about their Battle Royale. That was also a trendsetter. How do I know this? I was one of the original testers and developers for the original Battle Royale in Call of Duty 2019 Modern Warfare. Yes, I was. I was on the team that tested the whole map so many times and then helped develop it. It was revolutionary because yes, there was battle royales out there, but nothing in a sense with real shooters. Nothing in a sense with that Call of Duty DNA, right? It changed BRs. Like 1 million BRs came out after that trying to copy, not Fortnite, but Call of Duty's DNA. This is my thing. You gotta stay true to what you know. Bungie doesn't do it, right? CD Projekt Red is probably gonna be the last company alive that follows their DNA. You know what? Because if you look at any interviews with CD Projekt Red, right? They don't care what you think. They don't care about trends. They don't give a crap about things. They have a cool idea, they have their blueprint, and they make it. It's their project, it's their baby. It's not supposed to have outside influence. Now, that's outside of bugs and issues, of course, but it doesn't matter what you think. Even as a consumer, it doesn't matter. A game studio is supposed to make the game they envisioned, not you. There's too many different opinions out there for game companies to ask your opinion on how their game should look. That's not how it works. And I'm sorry for all you new gamers out there that think this way. That is not how the industry should be, and that's partially why it's dying. I don't blame AI. I don't blame any of this stuff. I blame companies listening to people who don't know what they're talking about and also listening to consumers more than internal. Okay? CD Projekt Red made Cyberpunk the way they wanted to make it. They didn't take polls. They didn't ask people what should be in there. They didn't even change anything once people complained about stuff. They made it the way they wanted to, because that's the point. If it doesn't have the DNA of the studio and the people who built it, then it's gonna fail. I don't care what you say. Everybody has a different opinions. You can't please everybody, so please the studio, right? If you wanted to make a game about, rodents, make the game about rodents. Don't change stuff because, cats are more popular than rats right now, so we should put a cat. No, make the game about rodents. You know what I mean? That's a shitty example, but you know what I mean. Studios need to follow their own intuition. They need to make stuff that's original. Stop copying. This is the shitty part of our industry right now. Stop copying. Look at Crimson Desert. You can't name a game on planet Earth that's like Crimson Desert. You can't fucking name one. And for all the shortcomings of the story and the bland characters that you play, like the main character, Cliff, is very bland. He has like less lines than most of the side characters. He says like 2 lines, okay? So, and the game is still amazing. Why? Because that's not the focus. You know, it may have cutscenes, it may have cool boss battles and like relationship situations where you're trying to like uplift your people, but it is not an RPG primarily. It is everything, okay? So that's my thing to everybody out there making a game. Stop following trends. Fire the people who tell you to follow trends. Don't listen to investors, because at the end of the day, they just care about money. They have nothing to do with the development side of that, and they shouldn't. You know how they get their money? And you know how you shut them up? You design your own thing the way you want to do it, and it will sell. Stop following trends, guys. Marathon could have been great. If Marathon was a Destiny-esque RPG where, like, let's say they expanded it to 6-player co-op on a team, and you can like explore that world and explore the hacking and it would have done splendid. It would be top of the charts right now, because those Destiny players would have jumped to it like crazy. All the OG Destiny players would have jumped to it with raids and bosses and hacking. Imagine doing a raid where you had to protect one of your teammates while he's doing a hacking minigame in order to unlock this thing to defeat a boss. Like, whoa, dude. You know? So let me get back on track here. So let's keep with Marathon, because it's a really good example of what you should not do. Not only did they follow the trend of making a looter, not even a looter shooter, an extraction shooter, that's not very good. They didn't do anything to expand it. They didn't evolve it. It literally has all the same mechanics as a basic extraction shooter. It's Tarkov. Tarkov with a different skin. The game's been out for a long time. You can't just copy it and expect it to succeed. It doesn't matter how good your gunplay is. It doesn't matter, you know, that you have robots roaming, whatever. Arc Raiders, on the other hand, they evolved it. They created a community, a world where, and I have a whole nother thing on Arc Raiders. I'm not a fan that they changed it to an extraction shooter, but it works. The original outline of Arc Raiders was an MMO. Like a large scale MMO where you can fight bosses with 13 other people, and you know, that's why everybody goes to the same hub, and you know, even though you kill each other, everyone goes to the same hub. No one thinks of that. It was not an extraction shooter. But anyway, it works because they evolved it. They created a community that more often helps each other than kills each other. Right? Now, if this would have stayed as an MMO, it would succeed as well. You know why? Because it already functions like that half the time. People are nice in Arc Raiders. People communicate, people help each other out, people help other people extract, right? It works. Now, the whole point of the video is just to say our industry needs to evolve backwards. And that's a hard thing to say and a hard thing for people to understand and swallow, is that not everything needs to evolve forward. Sometimes you need to go backwards to go back to the golden era, right? With Marvel. Marvel's doing that now, right? Xbox is not doing that. Now, Xbox is a whole nother can of worms that we'll discuss on another day, but making the head of AI the head of your gaming department is just stupid on so many levels. It's not even funny. I'm just saying. But yeah, thank you guys for checking in on the video. I appreciate your time. Please like and subscribe if you want to. Trying to do this full time now. But anyway, you guys stay chill. Have a good damn day.